Hello my friends, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to talk about the missing part of your training, which is not the physical part but the mental part, the part where you focus on your attention, your breathing, your mind, your inner state. And I'm gonna tell you why you should be doing this kind of training regardless of your physical training as well. Now we all know that physical training helps our brain, our nervous system to relax, to stay in a more positive and centered state. It allows us to develop a capacity to be consistent, perseverant, the capacity to stay focused in something regardless of the situations around us or the circumstances, and also this capacity to continue going forward even when we don't have immediate gratifications, because physical training, a good physical training, will always push you further, but you're not going to see excessive amount of results in one single session. You are going to see it after a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, and of course some years to come. So when we talk about physical training, we are also training our mind, our spirit, in a way that connects us to our inner truth. But that's not enough, and the reason is because if the main focus is the body, which is alright, then there's huge things that we can be doing with our inner selves that physical training are not giving. And those are our capacity to be more patient, more resilient, more focused, and develop more awareness, personal awareness. What is going on within myself, how I'm feeling, what I should be doing. This consciousness is, I'd say, very important, or one of the most important things to develop, because the more you know yourself, the more you're gonna be able to change it yourself. If you don't know yourself, then there's no chance to change. There's limited chance to even to succeed in something new, because every time you put yourself into a challenge, old habits will do their work as well. And if these old habits are against your challenge, let's say that they are not great, then you will have a great deal to work on regardless of the challenge itself. Because there are things that we might want to do that are already challenging by themselves, but if we add to that our incapacity to stay focused for a longer period of time, our incapacity to be patient or resilient, our incapacity to see the bigger picture, the incapacity to focus on one single task until it's finished, and so on and so on. All these kind of incapacities will make the challenge even more challenging. Now, the good thing is that we have one tool that is within us, and that is the key and the vehicle to allow us to reach any personal goal we want, which is our breathing. Breathing is very important. It keeps us alive. But more important than that, it is totally related or correlated to our inner emotional psychological state. Breathing patterns are related to how we feel. If we experience stress, we're gonna breathe in a certain way. If we experience peace, we're gonna breathe in another certain way. If we are excited, or if we are sad, or if we are happy, motivated, or any kind of other sensation or experience that we might have is related to a certain pattern of breathing. And when we put attention to our breathing patterns and we bring awareness to that, and we start working consciously on our breathing patterns every day in normal situations, then we start making a change, because we develop the capacity to say, okay, you know what, I'm frustrated right now, I'm gonna breathe, not gonna solve the problem, but I'm gonna breathe, I'm gonna calm my mental and emotional state, and then I'm gonna go do something. So it creates a space, a separation from where I am to our problems. At the same time, when we are too excited, too happy about something, too passionate about something, we might also tend to lose sight of other things that are important as well, and we can lose consciousness of why this is really so good for us, because we are so focused on these good feelings, good sensations, good experience, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if we want to approach those experiences, the positive ones, with more awareness and more consciousness, then we should also bring in a conscious breathing pattern, or a breathing capacity to kind of neutralize that sensation, go back to our center, enjoy, but come back to our center and stay more vigilant into other kind of things that might come up. In Buddhist philosophy, they call this equanimity, and equanimity is not being too far up, too far down, not too far right, not too far left. Come always to your center, regardless of the experience that you're going through, and with this you gain control, self-control of yourself. You can act differently, you can take decisions differently, and you will be able to learn from that situation quicker. Instead of the situation happening to you, you are going to be involved in the situation with awareness. And that's what conscious breathing brings to the table, brings to your life. And that's why you should be practicing it every single day. And it doesn't take 1 hour to do it. 10 to 15 minutes every day makes a whole big difference in your life. When you just wake up in the morning or before going to sleep, any time of the day, you can practice your breathing exercises and bring calm awareness to your life, and especially focus. After you have been practicing breathing exercises and you are more or less able to change how you feel just by breathing consciously, you can start also practicing attention training. And attention training is the door to a total awareness and presence and an expansion of your consciousness. So the first thing is that you have to learn how to stay focused for long periods of time, and I'm saying at least 10 minutes in one single thing. 10 minutes that you are just doing what you're doing. Nowadays, thanks to social media and thanks to the nature of our mind as well, we are commonly distracted. We cannot let 1 minute the telephone on the table without wanting to go grab it, because we are so addicted to it. Everything we are doing, we are kind of rushing up, and at the same time we're doing something, we're thinking what we're gonna do next and next and next. And you might feel that you are very productive, but in reality you are not. You are just not as productive as you think. You are just not as conscious as you think you are. Now, attention also can be practiced with our breathing, but instead of focusing our breathing to just change how we feel, which is more like learning how to relax and center ourselves, we are going to learn how to prolong this state for a longer period of time. So first we learn how to calm down, come to a centered state, and then we learn how to stay in that state for a long time. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour, maybe more. That depends on you, that depends on what do you want. Now, the recommendation, or let's say the recommendation is like, if you are able to stay single-minded, concentrated for at least 10 minutes, and you do this every day for 4 to 5 months, you are going to start changing your neuronal connections. The architecture of your mind is going to start changing, and you're gonna learn how to change the biochemistry of your brain just by sitting down there in a concentrated stance, well aligned, and breathing. When we talk about concentration or attention training, we usually need to have an object where we're going to pose or center our attention. Now, this object could be an external physical object. Some people use a candle, the fire of the candle, or a little stone. Some people use something more internal like breathing, and some other people use visualizations. Now, any of those are just objects where you are going to center your attention. None of them have their own special advantage. Depending on how you are, in terms of if you are a visual person or you are not so, or you're more kinetic, you will need different sorts of attention objects. Now, of course, the first exercises are with something physical, and then when we learn how to, and we are able to stay just being completely focused for 10 minutes with something physical, external, we can bring this awareness, this attention to something in between, inside of us, like a breathing, but also like a sensation or a special part of our body. And in that way, the yogis or the ancient traditions draw a map of our energetic body using what we call as chakras or energy centers. And these energy centers, which are aligned with our spine, are going to work also as an attention object. For example, you can just try to close your eyes and bring your attention to the middle of your forehead and just breathe normally, and visualize there one spot of light, white light, for example, white circle or a blue circle, just in between your eyes, your forehead. You can also do that, for example, in the middle of your chest here. That's also a great exercise. So you just close your eyes or just keep them very relaxed without needing to close them, and you bring your awareness here. So more kinetic people are going to do better with things that are inside of their body and maybe sensations, like a breathing in and out and a sensation in the middle of your chest. And this sensation there, you just focus on that sensation and you just keep breathing. More visual people will maybe want to visualize something like a circle of light, blue light or white light, that it can be just in the space, or it could be also in one of your energy centers, and this will increase further your attention capacity. And of course, you are always breathing normally, regularly, with awareness. In this way, you are going to develop your attention capacity, your capacity to stay focused in yourself, in what's going on. And instead of attaching yourself to those sensations, when you develop this attention, you are going to, as same thing with experiences outside, you're going to develop space. And this space in between, let's say, the you and the me and a hidden me, that is, or we call it the observer. So who's watching who? You're going to be able to like watch yourself in third person and somehow separate yourself from whatever you are experiencing right now, and this will also bring a huge sensation of calmness, of equanimity, and answers will come to you if you're seeking for answers for something specific in your life, and you will feel ready for whatever challenge you have in life or during that day. I hope that this video have really helped you. Like it, comment, subscribe to my channel, and remember that I have my program Water Training Foundations, where I teach the techniques to learn how to do this more specifically. So see you on the next video.